Cold calling is a thing that people would consider a curse word at this point in our society.
So I'll bleep that out every time we say cold call.
That is my favorite philosophy. That book changed everything. That book allowed me to see how to make this business happen. Treat it like it is an actual whole year of time that you're trying to get through right there. You're never going to see how to do what you're doing in a better way. If you have a spreadsheet and that is how you are keeping track of your leads, if that is how you have all of your data stored, then you need to take a look and figure out how to make that into a CRM.
Yes, I mean, it's basically like your engine to your vehicle. It's that important.
A different animal noise every time. Oh, what's it going to be this time?
I was going to say, what about a fox? But I mean, what does the fox say? It's the thing that exposes the cracks in your current system. So it fixes that where you're weak right now for you to be able to see, oh, we aren't doing follow-ups good.
You got one person now who has shown up and is willing to buy your product or service. Don't make me do it. I will do the whole thing. I swear. Aaron, don't bring us down this road. This is not where you want to be right now.
No, 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 no.
Na, 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 na.
This is the Clark Connection Podcast, where 12 years of coaching championships meets real-world leadership. Coach Clark broke through at the highest levels. Now he's bringing you the playbook. Every week, real leaders, real wins. Real strategies you can use Monday morning. If you're done with theory and ready for results, this is your show. You in? Let's go!
And welcome back to the Clark Connection Podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Clark, aka The Coach, where we help leaders, entrepreneurs, and business owners grow personally, professionally, and profitably. And here's the fast leadership truth for today. If your business feels chaotic, it's not a motivation problem. It's a systems problem. But before we dive in, I want to take a moment to thank today's sponsors of the show. Your support helps make this podcast possible. This episode of the Clark Connection Podcast is proudly brought to you by Hubbard Flooring Studio. Leadership, growth, and success all start with a strong foundation, but the details matter too. Vicky and her team don't just specialize in high-quality flooring. They also offer Hunter Douglas blinds, bringing both function and design together in one place. Whether you're building, renovating, or upgrading a home or business, Hubbard Flooring Studio helps you create a space that reflects quality, intention, and excellence, from the floors you stand on to the light you let in. Now, if you're ready to work with people who care about craftsmanship and getting it right, visit hubbardflooringstudio.com or call 225-924-1582. Hubbard Flooring Studio, covering you from the ground up. Shout out to Steadfast Electric for supporting the show. When your power needs to be reliable, not just good enough, Brian and his team deliver safe, dependable electric work for homes and businesses. No shortcuts, no guesswork. Learn more at steadfastelectric.com or call 225-457-7957. Steadfast Electric, reliable power done right the first time. I want to recognize Bobby with the Comfy Quest LLC for sponsoring the podcast. Bobby specializes in craniosacral therapy, a highly specialized form of bodywork, and she's one of only 2 therapists in the Baton Rouge area offering it. This work helps the body release deep tension, regulate the nervous system, and truly reset. To learn more or book a session, visit massagebook.com/acomfyquest or call 225-773-0307. A Comfy Quest, specialized craniosacral therapy for a real nervous system reset. A big thanks to Automate Integrate Professional Services for backing the show. Andrew helps businesses simplify, automate, and integrate their systems so leaders stop wasting time on manual work and start focusing on growth. Visit automate-integrate.com or email Andrew at automate-integrate.com. Automate Integrate, systems that work so you don't have to overwork. I want to give a shout out to Dr. Bob Smith, chiropractic internist, for sponsoring today's episode. Dr. Bob focuses on identifying the root cause of pain and dysfunction, not just covering up symptoms. If your body isn't performing the way it should, this is the kind of care that looks deeper. Learn more at brspine.com or call 225-291-2626. Dr. Bob Smith, finding the root cause, not just chasing symptoms. And you can find all the sponsors' links listed right below in the description. And if today's episode hits home, I'd love to stay connected with you. You can reach me via email, check out everything I'm working on at my website, and connect with me on social media. All those links are listed on the screen as well as in the description below. Today's conversation is a powerful one. I'm joined by Andrew Reynolds, founder of Automate Integrate Professional Services, and yes, he's also one of the sponsors of the show. But more importantly, he is someone who understands how business actually works behind the scenes. And in this episode, we're going to talk about streamlining business processes, leveraging CRMs, dialers to optimize sales, the difference between VoIP and traditional calling, and why fractional admins might be one of the smartest moves a small business can make. And if you're an entrepreneur who's tired of duct taping systems together and want your business to run smarter, not harder, you're in the right place. Let's jump into my conversation with Andrew. And welcome back to the show, Andrew.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Glad to have you back on. That dude, that been one of our original sponsors, been with the show since the beginning. So very appreciative of that. I think it was like episode 6 that you were on, and that was like 70 episodes ago now. So, I mean, tell what's been up, what's been going on with Automate Integrate.
Well, in the first podcast that we did together, I just talked about, where I was thinking about taking the company and what the plans were. And, I was more going towards the technology, and I was shifting more towards helping smaller businesses leverage that technology to optimize their processes, their, everything that they do organizationally. So that's what I've been doing. I've been helping different schools and other businesses as well, just build a CRM, set up automations, redesign their websites, build dialers, anything that will help with the communication and optimize the process from when somebody goes to a website and says, hey, I'd like to find out more, to I'm on the phone with this person actually going to say, yes, I'd like to buy this product or service.
Oh, cool. Yeah. And so if I remember right, so you were kind of new at about that point, about a year old as Automate Integrate. And so now 3 years in, what would you say is like the biggest change that you're noticing for you right now?
The biggest change for me is that I've noticed that I'm doing less and less of the consulting, and I've kind of shortened that into more of a product type service instead of, just me being there. That's kind of lumped in now with all of these other tools. So there's, not just my brain that all of my clients are getting. They're also getting the tool belt that I've been building around myself this whole time.
Also, and that brain's pretty massive. I know there's a lot rolling on up in there. And
why do you think I don't have any hair, man? It just falls off because my brain is so large. I'm just kidding.
That explains it. My brain is still small, man. I need to get a bigger brain. My wife was right. Don't tell her I said that, though.
Oh, I would never. I got you.
I'm glad the secret is safe with you.
Too funny.
And so now, all right. So talking about the CRMs and the dialer. So what type of things are you adding in that CRM that makes it better for the businesses themselves?
So I look at the business itself and try to figure out what are the actions that the sales team or the reps are taking. And I try to streamline those and automate those. So if there is a certain stage in the sales process that we get to where an email needs to go out, a form needs to be filled out so that they can apply to a school, et cetera, all of that is automated. And all of the updates to the CRM are simply one click so that it makes it easier for the team to move on from what they're doing to the next person and just optimize the flow of the entire organization.
So catching the bottlenecks.
Definitely.
Yeah, and that's huge because, I mean, oftentimes we don't know what we don't know. So, I mean, if you don't know that that's where the bottleneck is, having something that's going to help point that out and show you is pretty impactful, especially for smaller businesses.
Yeah, I can't tell you how much time gets wasted by other businesses where they're just, clicking here, typing this in here, doing this and that, and just trying to make sure that they've got all of the stuff they need organized just to deal with this one record, this one person who's asked for information. When in all reality, if you have the right conversation with that client, you're able to say, okay, well, if they were to update it to this status and all of these other things were to happen in the background, wouldn't that be easier for your team? And the answer is usually yes.
Then yes, it's easier for my team. Sorry, man, I couldn't help it. I couldn't help myself. And now with the dialers, like you were saying, helping people get started with a dialer, like how would that be beneficial if I were to get a dialer for my business?
That would be helpful in having your reps have to think a lot less, because one of the biggest problems when it comes to following up with somebody who's asked about your products or services is, when do I call them? How many times do I call them? Can I call them quick enough? And what a dialer does is it'll automate an instant dial. So as soon as somebody fills out a form on a website, they can generate a phone call directly from your agent to that person to find out what they need and what they're looking for, what they're looking to do. And that speed to lead is really everything. But it's not just that. It's knowing when to make that next call, knowing when to stop making calls. All that, it comes with working in the industry for as long as I have.
And how long, like, does that just come to my computer? Does it go to my phone? Like, how do I know that I need to make that call, the instantaneous call?
Well, the great thing about the dialer that I utilize, that I leverage, is 5.9. And what you can do with 5.9 is you can essentially sit there at your computer with your headset on, and it will dial these people for you. If somebody says, I need to find out now, that person's going to jump to the front of the list, and they're going to get called first. And then that's maybe second or third phone call to another lead who didn't answer the first call will be placed after that. So it's got this system of prioritization and just dialing in a sequence that is beneficial to getting in contact with the person asking for information.
How should it like, let's say, like right now, I don't have a huge lead flow. So would this be beneficial for somebody like me, or would this be more beneficial for somebody like, let's say I've got 100 leads coming in a day?
100 leads coming in a day, you need a dialer. That's not even a question. There's too many leads. You absolutely are losing out on business if you don't have a dialer, if you have a bigger team. In addition, if you have a smaller team, you are wasting your time by not having a dialer, because you still have old leads. Just because you only generate 5 leads a week doesn't mean that you don't have 10,000 leads that you generated a long time ago who never moved forward. So it's not just the instant dial. It's not just the sequence. There's also a nurturing element that comes into play with all this as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so it's definitely beneficial to have it at all levels of your business.
Absolutely. It comes down to how do you leverage it and how do you make it work for the business? And that's where I come in. That's where my expertise is really valuable. It's just understanding how these systems should work together based upon what your business looks like.
Okay. And so, like, if I'm wanting to build out my CRM, so Coach Clark Leadership and Development, looking to get CRM up and running, like how do you help somebody like me get that rolling?
First, we just talk about what your process looks like with your clients. How do people find out about you? What does your marketing look like? Is there a landing page? Do they fill out a form? How do you reach out to them currently? Most of the time, people who have a form on their website, they just get the form information emailed to them, and then they'll call that person with their cell phone, something along those lines. All of that stuff is very old school nowadays. There's no reason for it. So you just have to have the conversation of what does your workflow look like once you've got an inquiry about your business. Once I have that vision, it's very, very easy for me to say, okay, so we can put this here to get your dials going automatically. And there's so many different solutions nowadays. If you're a one-man band and you're always going to be just a one-person show, you could also even have these calls directly routed from your cell phone. There's a lot of different technology nowadays that make it possible to seem like you have a team of 20, but you're a team of one. And that's really where my expertise would come in.
So how do you do that? The cell phone thing? That's pretty cool.
That is one of the features built into one of my favorite CRMs to build out.
Is it AI that's doing that, or is it you actually, is it like my actual cell phone?
So what it does is someone fills out a form, and then that will generate a phone call to your cell phone. You'll answer your cell phone. You'll hear an announcement from the system that it's coming from telling you what it is. New lead, John Smith, finding out about X product, right? Press 1 to dial. You press 1 on your cell phone. It uses the carrier on your cell phone to increase the signal of the call, which that's really important because a lot of times nowadays you got this VoIP stuff going on, which is voice over IP, which is not as strong of a phone call. It's not going on the cell towers, in other words, right? It's just going over the internet. So it's just a phone call straight to your phone, and then you route it out. And it's as simple as that.
That's really cool. So, all right. So talking about the VoIP versus the cell tower, and now that you went there, because I don't fully understand it. So I'm going to assume a lot of my listeners don't fully understand that. Like how, all right. Because I kind of just assumed everything now was almost VoIP or cell. So what's like the difference?
Right. So if you have just a VoIP-based business, then system, then you're going to need to make sure that you have a strong internet connection. There's no cell towers that are giving you a connection to send that call over, right? It's just over the internet. It's over it's from IP address to IP address, different than cell phone to cell phone, right? Because those cell phones have towers that are in between them where it's actually carrying that signal over. So that's the difference between the two. It just makes it a little bit stronger of a phone call, so you don't lose the phone call. A lot of times, and I don't know if anybody has ever experienced this, but I experience this all the time. You get a phone call from a number. It might show up as spam, but it only rings for 2 seconds, and then all of a sudden it stops. Then all of a sudden you notice it's ringing again. It's the same phone number. That is somebody using a voice over IP system that is a weak signal, and they're not getting enough internet to actually place the call and keep the call consistent. So they've got the call started to generate, and then it kind of drops off because they lost signal, and then it comes back in and generates again, which that's going to get you labeled as spam. That's the last thing that you want as a business, because I don't know about you, if I get a spam call, not going to answer it. It's just how it works.
I answer it every time.
You probably mess with them knowing you. You probably answer and you're like, would you like something from Mario's Pizza? No.
Who, me?
Yes, you. Couldn't be. Then who?
Shoot, sometimes I try to reverse sell them, man.
I can't tell you how many times I've gotten inbound text messages from random people, and I just start having a full conversation with them. Well, who are you trying to reach? Maybe you got the last digit wrong. Are you sure you took the phone number down right?
Like, did you ever see, I'm trying to remember, I don't remember which stand-up comedian it was, but he was talking about answering the random phone guy.
Yeah, I know exactly who it is. I know exactly who it is because it's one of my favorite stand-ups of all time called The Pimp Chronicles, and that was Cat Williams.
Yes,
and he's talking
okay.
about white people and how they're super nice when you call them. And I always thought that joke was hilarious because I am that person. Absolutely. If you call the wrong number and you get Andrew is going to try and help you just because I think that's what you should do. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love it when he's like, what do you mean Ryan didn't send it? Ryan's supposed to send that over to you. And like, they have no idea that I'm not Kevin. Obviously, he's never talked to Kevin.
Murdered who? I've known him for only a week. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
and people don't, you know, and I know we're joking about it, but it takes a lot of courage, especially now, to pick up the phone and cold call somebody like that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it is definitely looked down upon. That is for sure. Cold calling is a thing that people would consider a curse word at this point in our society.
Yep. And sorry, listeners, I'll bleep that out every time we say cold call. So if you start hearing bleep during this, that was, I'm not bleeping it out.
That would be fabulous.
Who knows? I might see if we can't edit that in there.
Make it a funny noise, like a cat meowing instead of a bleep. So it's like, meow.
A dog barking.
Yeah.
Every time, a different animal noise, a different animal noise.
A different animal noise every time. Oh, what's it going to be this time? Moo.
I mean, I was going to say, what about a fox? But I mean, what does the fox say?
Don't make me do it. I will do the whole thing. I swear, Aaron, don't bring us down this road. This is not where you want to be right now. My kids used to play that all the time, and I'm telling you right now that I can do it. So let's not go there. Let's not.
The fox doesn't say anything.
Wow, bow, 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 bow. Man, I wonder how that man made money off of that. Goodness gracious. What a ridiculous song.
Well, I think it's because they were all in the goofy outfits and then just doing silly stuff.
Resonates with children, that's for sure. That's where most of that audience was. So that makes sense. Kids love stuff on YouTube, and it's some of the most ridiculous content you'll ever see. So I believe it.
So you just got to hit it big once.
That's right. That's right.
Only one shot. Hey, if you've liked what you've seen so far, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow the show. That way we can continue to bring you great guests and great content like you've seen so far. Now back to the episode. Like, how did we get here?
Yeah, we went off on tangents and we just kind of rolled with it. Typically, if we're going on tangents and we're making jokes, I'm just going to keep rolling that ball down the hill, man.
Well, me too. But I think it's important too, you know, that people see that it's not just, yeah, we're here to talk about leadership and development and how did these businesses come about. But I mean, also it's business is fun. If you don't love what you're doing, why are you doing it?
Yeah, audience, just so you guys are aware, Aaron and I do this all the time, whether we're recording it or not. We just enjoy talking together face to face and just having these conversations. And it's not usually about business at all. So,
well, it starts that way, and usually it ends that way.
Yes, but there's always this in between where we get to have a little bit of fun. Because if you're not having fun doing what you're doing, you probably shouldn't be doing it.
Well, I mean, deep down, we're both dorks and love just like the dorky stuff. I mean, one of us is going to hit somebody with a movie quote or with what the fox says or whatever. Who knows? And so it brings us somewhere way over here instead of like, come back.
So about those TPS reports.
Yes. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yep, there we go. Look, in the SIP, he's got the whole thing. He knew the movie. He got the quote. That was fabulous. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, you got to. If y'all hadn't seen it. Dude, and that one, the very first time I ever saw Office Space. So remember, it was probably about the time that like the the viruses became like huge. Like if you put stuff in computer and whatever would.
Yeah.
So the very first time I went to watch it was on, I'm not proud to say this, but I was at work on the computer and I was like, kind of slow. So let me just start this. Let me see what everybody's talking about. So I slipped the DVD in, and that's the very first thing. When you hit play, it pops up with, you have downloaded a virus. And I'm like,
Yep. I remember that.
oh my gosh. Like, my dad's going to kill me. My dad's going to kill me.
It's a funny joke. You got to think about how funny that really is, that they decided to put that in there at the beginning of the movie to freak people out. That not a lot of people who produce movies do that kind of thing. That's actually hilarious.
Oh, it was class. And I think that's probably why they kept encouraging me, that because I was like 16 at the time. So I'm working with a bunch of older guys. I think they knew that. And like, hey, if we can get the boss's kid to do this, how funny would that be?
And they were right.
Oh, dude, I was panicked because it was like one of those. It was like just a super slow day, and I was like, So now I'm panicking because I got to call IT or somebody. Like, I think I messed this up. I know better now.
Yeah, great memories. Memories of panic.
It was, man. It was. Oh, geez. Good stuff. So what's like maybe something you're learning new? I mean, I'm trying to, how do we get back on track? I mean, what might be something you're learning new, like right now, that you're working on to try to help you grow, but then also help your teams grow?
This is a great question. This is so incredibly relevant because this idea came into my mind last night after I was dealing with some challenges with a client. And it's not necessarily a challenge, it's more of an opportunity, I would say. And what the issue is that they just need extra support. And I noticed this across the board at businesses. Just because they have the right tools doesn't mean that they have somebody to fine tune them, somebody to support them in a way that is on a different level. And if you don't have somebody trained specifically on all of the different tech in your tech stack, then a fractional admin is a very good idea for someone like you. And what a fractional admin would be essentially would be looking at your systems and making sure that everything stays all hunky-dory. And if anything goes wrong, they're the person who jumps in and helps you. I think that on-demand support is something that's critical for anybody who uses any type of technology. So literally every business in the world nowadays. And then that fractional admin, because just because you have a little bit of support doesn't mean that you're able to figure out all those really, really difficult tech questions. And the reason that I noticed this isn't just because I got so many emails in a day from a client. It was because I noticed how much extra appreciation they had when I was able to provide that type of service. So if anything, that has been my biggest epiphany, and it just literally happened last night. So that was a very relevant question. Yeah.
Now, this fractional admin, is this AI? Is this you? I mean, what? Like,
depends on the system. So right now, I do this in some sort of capacity on different systems. I offer this service already for Five9. So if you have Five9 and you are struggling, you don't have an admin from their team, you can absolutely reach out to me and I can provide that service for you. And I charge a lot less than they do over at the Five9 team. The reason why is because you don't need 10 hours of support every single month on your Five9. You might need 5 hours. So if you're able to pay half the price and still have an admin on your side, it's going to help you. That's definitely true, because there's always reconfigurations that need to be had within the system to make sure that you're doing the best dialing you can do. And then the same thing for Go High Level. That's a little bit more involved. If you have me working with you on Go High Level, there's a chance that you're going to be also working with a team that I am working with, and they'll have a manager, they'll have the on-demand support so you can reach out right away, get something fixed. But if you want to do like an overall system change or something like that, Andrew's the one who jumps in and lets you know, hey, this is what's in place right now. This is what I'd suggest that we do as the next step to make it get to this next level. And then the team just kind of jumps in and jumps all over it.
All right. Yeah, because that's pretty cool. Whenever you said it, I was like, all right, so what? Fractional admin? Never even heard that term.
It's for the smaller businesses that have all this technology, but they don't have anybody to fix it if something goes wrong, or they don't have anybody to advance it if they're not getting what they want out of it. So, and this could even be like for smaller marketing things, you know, say you wanted to do a New Year, New Me campaign. Who do you reach out for that? If you don't have somebody on your team, you could very well hire a fractional admin, which could provide you the content, put it into place, build the workflow, and tell you exactly how to trigger it and monitor it. I mean, that type of service is something that I think every single small business that doesn't have an IT department needs. And the funny thing about this, ready for this? The client that I was talking about who needs this service more than anybody has an IT department. So that's the funniest thing. I thought that was hilarious. So just because you have an IT department who understands your business's security for your internet and your email servers and your DNS for the back end of your website, it doesn't mean that they're going to understand how to work with your CRM. It doesn't mean they're going to understand how to work with your SIS or your even and any smaller systems. If you have an AI employee, your IT team might not be able to help with something like that.
No, that makes a lot of sense when you're saying that like it is, because I know that's one thing that we had done was that we've got IT that does, the back end for the website, that does the computer systems, the emails and all that, but then having the SIS coordinator and the CRM coordinator, and even though they're technically all IT, but it's different jobs within IT, and that'd be hard for a small business to hire 3 people.
That's my point. You could hire a service that offers a fractional admin for all of your different tech. And the type of tech that, well, I offer it for right now, I've mentioned Five9, Go High Level, but I'm also offering these services for Zoho users as well as HubSpot. And then there's one more. This one's a big one for the schools. If anybody out there involved with school, Lead Squared. If you need help, I'm the guy for that.
Yeah, and he definitely understands Lead Squared very well. I will attest to that.
How many months do we work on that, testing it with their team and me finding their mistakes, man? How many times?
I mean, how much time do I have on here?
Yeah, and guys, understand I'm not mocking their team at all. They're actually very, very good. It's just when it comes to the translation of a vision, whether it's a team like as big as Lead Squared, or like just your own system that you're building yourself, you've got to have this foresight and this vision that is aligned with the business specifically. And if you don't have that, you're building the wrong product 90% of the time.
Well, and then the importance of having somebody who understands your business. So just because I understand that leadership and development doesn't mean that I'm going to be the right person for your business. So, I mean, if I don't understand cosmetology, am I really going to be the right person? Probably not. So just having somebody who understands and speaks your business language, not necessarily your language, but your business language, and understanding how things go within your business that really helps when setting up your CRM.
And your CRM is that's your best friend. Once you have one of those tools, yeah, everybody uses that as their crutch. And without it, once you've had it, it feels like you've lost a limb.
Yes. I mean, it's basically like your engine to your vehicle. It's that important.
I agree 100% with that.
It works hand in hand with sales and marketing, and we both know that's the front foremost of all businesses there.
It is the official dot connector, if you ask me. It is the one piece that can go in between everything, that can be the web that brings everything into the actual view you need.
And I think you were the one that told me too, the importance of having that CRM is not that the CRM is the be all end all. It's the thing that exposes the cracks in your current system. So it fixes that where you're weak right now for you to be able to see, oh, we aren't doing follow-ups good.
And it also optimizes too. You know, you might not be weak somewhere, but you might have a huge opportunity to make an extra 50 phone calls. And if you're getting two appointments out of 50 phone calls, that means you've got 2 more appointments. If you got 50% of a show rate for those appointments, you got one person now who has shown up and is willing to buy your product or service, just because you've optimized your process in regards to how quickly a rep can move from one thing to the next. That little micro view of the process is what you get down to with a CRM. Without it, you're really just throwing a lot of stuff at the wall, so to speak. If you have a spreadsheet and that is how you are keeping track of your leads, if that is how you have all of your data stored, then you need to take a look and figure out how to make that into a CRM, which is essentially a moving spreadsheet, which can also market for you, especially nowadays, because there's so much automation and AI available that if you get a CRM, you will have those features more likely than not.
Yeah, and it is. That's probably the best way to say it. It's like a spreadsheet, but better, because it's so much easier to pull different data and reports out of it. So if you're wanting to see what is my contact rate, instead of you having to, oh, I didn't input it, it's there. You can go and look over a longer time period, because oftentimes what we do as business owners is we've got, here's my 2022, here's my 2023, here's my 2024, here's my 2025. Whereas that, I could just say, hey, give me 22 through 25,
And for those of you who are still using a highlighting system on a spreadsheet, Godspeed to you. But please, please don't give yourself such a headache. Just grab a CRM. You can find one, and you can even find them, relatively cheap, but just understand that the limitations for a cheaper CRM are there for a reason.
I was like, so if you need one, call Andrew. Say, he's the guy. He's the man.
I will build it for you. I have a team, and we've built plenty of different instances for different types of businesses. So if it's something that you guys don't have right now, please do reach out, at least find out about it, because even if you don't go with me, there's plenty of other providers that can build a system for you the way that you need it. It's just coming down to who's going to be the person to spearhead it and understand your business the best, if you ask me.
Yeah. And then one thing I will say, because this is one thing I absolutely love about you, Andrew, is he's going to geek out on whatever your business is. So if your business, and he's laughing right now because he's like, dang it. He's right.
Yes, I am.
But he wants to know, and it's to me, that's a great thing, because you're going to dive in, and before you know it, you know everything there is to know about landscaping.
I am a puzzle guy, and as soon as I get one piece of a puzzle, I'm the kind of guy who's just going to chase after the rest of the pieces until they get put together. I absolutely love challenges. It's probably one of my favorite things about what I do nowadays, because if I'm not growing, I get so bored. I can't stand it. I have to do something more. So if you're looking for a person like that, that's who I am. That's for sure.
We want to take a quick moment to shout out today's premier sponsor, Vicky with Hubbard Flooring Studio. Leadership always starts with a strong foundation, and so does your home or office. Vicky and her team don't just cover floors. They help you step into excellence one plank, tile, or carpet at a time. And now, they are offering Hunter Douglas blinds, giving you the ability to set the tone, control the light, and create the perfect environment to lead from. Hubbard Flooring Studio, where strong foundations and bright visions begin. All right, so with like when you say puzzles, are you an actual puzzle guy? Like you do real, or like the real like puzzles?
The actual putting together of a physical puzzle, heck no, but I think of it in a different way, because when you build a CRM, that is a puzzle, but it's a puzzle that it's like malleable. You know what I mean? So it's like building the pieces and then putting the pieces together. So to me, it's a more advanced puzzle, and that
Like
gets
Legos.
me. Yes, because you can make anything out of Legos. So you see how fired up? That's the type of excitement that I get when I hear about, hey, so I have this form that people are filling out, and I get an email and it goes to here, and that's all that I've been doing. When I hear those words, my heart sings. It really does, because all I can think of is how can I help you fix that problem? And there's so many different ways that you can skin that cat, I'll tell you what.
Yes. And so, I mean, hey, if you're listening to this, guys, and you're like, hey, that's my child or somebody I know with Legos that loves Legos or something like that, that could be a good fit for your child if you're wondering what do they want to do.
Yeah, I get Legos from my children very, very often, because when I was a kid, I loved Legos. And what I did from there actually is I started getting old computers and taking them apart and installing new parts and then installing new software so that I could use the computer. And that's just what I used to do for fun when I was a kid, is the same thing, you know, puzzles, technology, anything like that. So I try to foster that in my children as well.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I think I did ask you that. I was trying to think, did I ask you, like, how did you end up in this world on the last podcast? But I don't think I did.
It's a crazy story. Are you sure you want to hear this story?
I'm in.
All right. So, fast forward, I don't know, 13,
Oh, never
14
mind. This
years.
is way too long.
Yeah, it's a long one. But honestly, it was absolutely all fate. I have no idea how it happened. The story to me still perplexes me to this day. I owned a pizza shop, and I wanted to sell it so that I could buy a house and start a family and move to the area where my wife was. So that's what I did. And when I did that, we moved back, and I started searching for my next career. I didn't want to do food anymore. It was a lot of hours. So I just started looking, and believe it or not, I found this ad that was super upbeat, super positive. Just everything in the language was like so happy, and I loved that. And it was about inspiring people. It was about setting appointments for schools. And this is where I met Lexington. And that Lexington doesn't even remember putting that ad out there, which is the craziest thing. The fact that I even saw it was kind of a miracle. And that's really where it started, because Lexington has been a consultant in the school space for, who knows, 30, 40 years or something crazy like that. And yeah, maybe 1,000. Yeah, he's probably an ancient monk knowing Lexington. I could see that. Right? Yo, edit this video to put a picture of Lexington up when I say those words. Straight up.
In a monk outfit?
Yes, in a monk outfit. That'd be even better, right? But anyways, I started working for this guy, and Aaron knows Lexington as well.
Mm-hmm.
We both picked that man's brain up and down to learn as much as we possibly could. And the stuff that I learned from him while working with him, and what I had a passion for, which is technology, it all kind of came to a head, and I started running the appointment experts division and then building them their software so that we could have an easier time setting appointments. That was the whole reason for it. And I had no actual role of technology. It was just, hey, what if we did this? And then it just, from there, my passion for it just went nuts, and I just couldn't stop. I saw every single school that I met with, every single client that I knew, I saw a problem with their technology or a missing piece. And I couldn't couldn't stay away any longer. So I eventually started my own thing and started solving problems for people left and right as a consultant. And I built my own tool belt around that. And that's where we're at nowadays.
No, yep, I remember when you said it. I was like, I remember the pizza shop. I remember, but I was like, I couldn't remember. I was like, how did you end up in this? I forgot it was the story with Lexington, not just, hey, one day I'm going to do computers.
Yeah, it all started with Lexington and just being exposed to all these different issues that the schools were dealing with. And I just couldn't stand seeing it anymore. The amount of times that I would get on to a meeting and they're sharing a spreadsheet of the students' names or the potential students' names. And then they're saying, well, this one's highlighted green because they're enrolled. And that's how I know they're enrolled. And my head just started to spin from there. And I've been trying to fix those problems ever since.
Then speaking of fixing problems, I know one, because as we're starting to get towards the top of the hour, I love talking about that personal growth and development. And, I believe that all leaders are readers. Not all readers are leaders, but all leaders are learners. And so I know kind of one that you recommend, and me and you have talked about a lot, that is the 12-week year. And so can you elaborate more on that? About the book, The 12-Week Year?
That is my favorite philosophy. That book changed everything. That book allowed me to see how to make this business happen. And what the concept is essentially coming up with the micro goals that get you to the macro goal. You have to think about your vision long term and break it down into smaller actionable steps. And it's not just about taking the steps, it's about taking that step back. So the whole idea is to do 12 weeks and treat it like a year. So you're trying to get done what you can in those 12 weeks and treat it like it is an actual whole year of time that you're trying to get through right there. Once you get past the 12 weeks, you take time off. Then you do another 12. But it's all about the cycles of hitting hard, taking the time off. Because if you don't take the step back to disconnect, you're never going to see how to do what you're doing in a better way. And that's the whole reason why I went from just consulting and looking at other systems to building things and bringing products to life that did not exist before. Processes that people saw but had no idea how to make.
No, I like that. And I know that's one of my struggles is I'm more go into like 12 weeks and then, all right, let's go back into 12 weeks. And when we finish, let's go into 12 weeks. And that was one I forget when we talk about it, that Aaron, you got to take a break.
You don't take a break, you're going to burn out and you're not going to do as good of a job. And that's what it's all about. It's doing a good job. And to be honest, if you aren't celebrating how hard you worked over those 12 weeks, then there's something wrong. You didn't do the 12 weeks correctly.
Oh, that's good. It's definitely, because I know that's on my list. At the time of the recording, it's right. We're moving into the new year. And so people are, we're ramping up trying to get ready for 2026. And I was like, I need to read that book again to make sure I get ready for 2026.
It's a great idea. That's a great idea. I would definitely suggest reading that book before the new year and then plan your new year out, man. Hit the ground running.
Mm-hmm. And so, again, I'm not sure when this is coming out, so I don't know exactly. But if you're listening, go get the book and get started. Because it is, and I know that's when I've hit a lot of my goals with my business, it's been based off of this 12-week year. And it could be something as simple as like, all right, in the first 12 weeks, what do you want to do? Oh, I have no clients. All right, goal is to get one client. Well, how do you get one client?
Exactly. Break it down, then just execute. And that's what a business is. It's not the planning and it's not just the execution. It's the combination of the two, right? Because if you don't have the planning and you don't know what to execute when, then you're never moving forward. And in order to move forward, you have to be constantly executing the right things. Otherwise, you're spinning your wheels. There's no reason to do it.
Yes, the right thing. The right thing.
Yes.
Now, what about maybe a book that you either just finished reading or are currently reading?
Currently reading, You Already Know How to Be Great. Has a lot to do with leadership and confidence and just personal growth and understanding that you're the person who can make whatever you want come true. I truly believe in that, and I try to push that to my kids literally every single day, because I've realized that myself just through what I'm doing now. You know, if I wanted to do something and I set my mind to it, guess what? I can do it, and that mindset has a lot to do with the book.
That by Alan Fine?
Yeah, it's I don't know
Chess
who it's
piece
by.
on
I
it?
can't remember off the top of my head. It's a yellow book.
With like the pawn, and then it shows like the king
Yeah.
behind it.
Yep,
And
that's it. Yep.
okay. I'm gonna add that to my list, man.
Yep, my father gave me that one. He read that one when he was working in God, what was he doing at that time? I think he said he was doing flooring. So he's probably working for Shaw. And I have a feeling that he used that in many different ways, because as I was growing up, my father always had these different crazy projects where he'd be, you know, we're living in this house for X amount of time, and he'd find out that in the schematics you could knock down a wall and make it bigger and stuff like that. And then we'd sell the house. And you know, watching that and now reading these books that he's given me, I see why he did it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I mean, personal growth is so important. It's impactful. It's one that I mean, I posted something about that. Like, you know, I was laughing because the app that I use for us to record on is Riverside FM, and it did like a year in review, and that was one of the. It said that was my most used word was book.
That's awesome. That's really cool, actually, because you live what you preach, man. You really do.
So I laughed at it because and then when I posted it, I'm kind of interested. I hadn't seen anything because I did post it like this morning, but wondering like, did anybody comment back on it to see like, hey, well, what do you think was your most? Because I never thought I would be a reader. I never thought I would read books. You're a nerd.
Me either. Yeah, that was the last thing that I enjoyed doing. I really never enjoyed reading until I got older and I understood the value in it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think we too, like, and this is like, I'm not like, don't hear me when I say this, guys. I'm not saying school is bad, but I think the school system sets us all up for failure. But because it's not like when it's coming in and talking about, well, we all have to read Romeo and Juliet. And that's just kind of what I'm thinking right now because my son's going through it. And he's like, why do I need to know this? I'm like, to pass the test. When am I going to use it? I don't know. I've never used Romeo and Juliet. I know it's a great literary piece that means nothing to me. Like, why couldn't we do, because I know that's one I coach with my clients. Oh, so you don't want to read, the 12-week year doesn't resonate with you. Great. Let's try Atomic Habits.
Yeah, there's so many.
I mean, like, you already know how to be great. Well, let's try that. Let's try to find you something. Try to find, like, I'm trying to find where's your niche that to get you in to learn that and help you to develop into a better person, because it doesn't matter what I like and read if you don't like it and try to read it. It's got to be something to help them grow. And I think that's where the school systems mess up, is we're trying to, you've got to fit in this box. You've got to fit here. You've got to be there. And our entrepreneurs and future leaders don't fit inside that little box.
They don't fit inside any box. That's why we are who we are.
It's like one of my mentors and friends, Joey. He's always talking. He's like, yeah, I mean, being an entrepreneur, it's kind of, he said, I'm going to create a group called Entrepreneur Anonymous. You know, like, hey, it's been 3 days since my last business idea creation.
That's hilarious. And, you know, it's funny because one of my good friends, Chris Streisbach, has done something like that on Facebook. He's actually created an entrepreneurs group that I'm a part of, and he's got, I don't know, 20, 30 businesses, something crazy like that. But he knows a lot of the business owners in the area that I'm in, which is Lancaster County. And what we do on there is we share ideas. We just talk about ideas and being an entrepreneur and how we can help each other. It's like a whole community of entrepreneurs just leaning on each other. So it's interesting that you talked about an entrepreneur group. I was like, wait, does he know about this? So yeah, this stuff exists, my man. It really does.
Yeah, I figured it did because I mean, like how we met was through the Christian Businessman Connection in Baton Rouge, and so that's one of the things that he's like, yeah, it's so hard not to come up with another idea to start another business. Like, stick with what you're doing.
That's the most fun part about the entrepreneur spirit is having the conversations when you've come up with an idea and just taking it into the next level. And that in that moment, the excitement, that's everything. I love that.
It is. It's a lot of fun. And so last question that I always ask everybody. Well, not since the first time we recorded, this has been a newer development, is what's something that I should have asked you that maybe I didn't ask you?
I think that you probably, or at least the audience is probably wondering if they're looking at my video, probably want to ask about the random stockings behind me. Those fun stockings.
Yeah. So what's up with those random stockings behind you?
Yeah, those are stockings that my kids made, and they're actually they're pretty cool. They come blank, and you can actually color them in to make them your own customized stocking. And I always try to just hang some sort of Christmas spirity type stuff around in the background whenever I get to this time of year and I'm doing meetings and things like that. And people typically tend to love kids, so show it off a little bit. That's the one thing that I feel like everybody would be like, well, what does this guy got behind him and why are they not finished? Because they're totally not finished. It's funny because they'll still take them off the walls and they're like, Dad, I'm going to keep coloring this now.
Oh, but dude, like you gave me an idea. That's one that I might actually do because I've got all this stuff behind me that's all kind of pretty much all has meaning and purpose on why it is where it is, how it is. I might do kind of a mobile episode and move from section to section and talk about what's up there. That you just gave me an idea.
That's a good idea. You should talk about that Playboy magazine you got behind you.
Oh, this one?
Yeah,
well, that one's actually J Money. I mean, he is quite the player.
I love it.
Now that's my boy. We are best friends. So I love Jay Money to death. So Jay, if you are watching this, hey, call me. I miss you. Love you, bud. I figured that's who you were talking about, though. That's the only Playboy behind me.
Sure. Yeah.
I wonder how, like, I would love, I'm going to have to wait when this comes out to see if there's, like, what the engagement is. Like, oh, the videos are back on. Like, people are like, he's got what in there?
Wait, can you see it? Is that the centerfold or not? I want to see.
Yeah, the angel in my centerfold. Na 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 na.
Na, 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 na. That was great, bro.
Oh, jeez. I hope we don't get kicked off of here for that.
Yeah, we'll see. This conversation's gone a little left field a couple times, but I think that a lot of people will be having a good time with us since we're having a good time.
Absolutely. And so if anybody wants to reach out to you and get in touch with you, Andrew, how do they reach out and get in touch with you?
You're going to email Andrew. That's all you have to do. You're going to email Andrew at automate-integrate automate-integrate.com. My website is automate-integrate.com. You can go there as well and fill out a form if you would like to, but feel free to reach out to me directly via email. I'm always open to listening to projects and trying to help where I can. And if I can't help, I am going to point you in the direction of someone who can help, because that's just what I do.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, it's going to be in the show notes below, and it's in every show note below because he is one of the sponsors of the show. Always looking to help. That phenomenal man. I can't say enough good things about you, Andrew, and how much your support has meant to me that through growing the Clark Connection podcast, and then even going into Coach Clark Leadership and Development. I truly appreciate you and having you on here.
It's a pleasure. It's always fun talking to you, Aaron, and always open to doing whatever you need that's going to help you out, man.
Awesome. I appreciate it. And we'll definitely, y'all will be seeing more of him anyways, because he's on everything. We've added a lot of new stuff too. But we'll definitely have to get you back on at a later date.
I'm totally open. You just let me know and I'm there, brother.
Yes, sir. All right, man. All right. That was a powerful conversation with Andrew Reynolds. We talked about what happens when business owners stop guessing and start building real systems. From CRMs, dialers that speed up lead response times, to the importance of clean processes that save time, money, and mental energy. Andrew also shared why fractional admins can be a game changer for small businesses, how technology can level the playing field for entrepreneurs, and why personal growth and continuous learning are non-negotiables for leaders who want longevity and not burnout. So, if this episode gave you clarity, challenged your thinking, or even helped you see business differently, do me a favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and follow the podcast. Share this with another business owner who needs it. And if you're looking to connect with me, all of my links, email, website, social, they're right there on the screen and in the description. And remember, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. So keep learning, keep leading, keep connecting, and I'll see you on the next episode of the Clark Connection Podcast. Thanks for listening to the Clark Connection Podcast. If today's episode added value to you, do me a favor, follow the show and share it with someone who needs it. You can connect with me at my website, coachaclark.com, or on social media at Coach A. Clark. All the links are in the description. Until next time, keep leading, keep growing, and keep connecting.